What's up? I'm Nixon from Framing Hanley, and you were watching MPJ.
We're here in Herkimer, New York tonight for your show. You guys certainly have your single out for Lollipop. How's that been going, the tour so far?
The tour's been great. I mean, we've pretty much been on the road pretty constant since November, and towards the end of November. And, I mean, here we are in the middle of 2009, and it doesn't look like it's going to be slowing down anytime soon. I think we're going to be out on the road probably until the fall at least. So Lollipop, you know, it did great, and we're about to re-release our first single, Hear Me Now, at radio May 19th. So we go home in like a week to shoot the new video for that, so pretty pumped. But yeah, I mean, we're just going to stay on the road, I think, probably most of this year.
Now you guys did the cover. How'd that come about for Lollipop?
I mean, I'm a big Lil Wayne fan, and I was listening to that song on the way to rehearsal one day, and Ryan had just joined our band, and we had our hometown show in Nashville coming up, and it was his first time playing with us in our hometown. So, I mean, we were just talking about doing something different at that show anyway, and about an hour into rehearsal, after consuming most of a case of Bud Light, I suggested doing that song, like just joking around. You know, I thought it would be cool to do it at one show, but I mean, it was one of those things where when we ended up doing it that one show, it was, the label heard about it and they asked us to record it, and it became a single and like did its thing, what it did, you know, all on its own. So it was really weird.
Yeah. Now it wasn't on the album originally, right?
No.
And then you guys re-released it though with it
In November, yeah, of last year. Yeah, because the record originally came out on August 7th, 2007, and we did the re-release. I think it was November 18th of last year.
Well, now you said that you're from Nashville, and a lot of people think of Nashville and think more of like the country scene, but it does have a rock scene too. You want to tell me a little bit about?
I mean, for us, it's really cool because, you know, we've watched for the past, you know, so many years all these bands that, you know, that we kind of, you know, watched grow up in the scene around Nashville. You know, we watched them break out, and it's cool to be a part of that now, because I mean, you have bands like Kings of Leon from Nashville, Paramours from Nashville, Safety Suit, Red. I mean, there's so many bands that are really breaking out of there into, you know, the rock category now, and it's cool that people are starting to look at it more of, you know, other than just a place that's for country music. So no, it's cool. It's really cool to be a part of that.
I think I heard that you went to school for music. Is that right?
Actually, I had no idea what I was going to school for. I always had a different major, I think, every semester. I mean, I took some music courses in school, yeah.
What were your majors?
Originally I was going to be an English major, and then I switched to just journalism. But I found out you have to actually attend class to do well in college, so that didn't work out too well. I went to like 3 different colleges in about a year and a half, 2 years, so I decided to just be a waiter at Applebee's and focus on music, and then I met these 4 idiots, and now we're here.
You guys also did stuff through MySpace, and that's how you found
Brett.
Yeah.
Yeah. He posted a bulletin. He was looking for bands to work with, and he was lead singer of one of Chris's favorite bands at the time, actually, Dark New Day. And you know, I'd heard a record he had done with a band called Faction out of Texas, and I was a fan of his production, you know, and we had never worked with a producer before, so we really didn't know what to expect. For me, it was unnerving almost to a point, just because, you know, he's a vocalist, and an extremely talented vocalist, and he's our producer, so it was really intimidating when we first went in there. But I mean, we did our demo Hear Me Now with him, which, you know, ended up being the song that got us signed, and what ended up later being our very first single. And it was just, he opened our eyes, I think, to what we were capable of as far as songwriters. And, you know, he helped us focus more on the song specifically instead of just a part individually. So I think where we are as a band, we owe a lot to working with Brett, you know, at an early stage in our career.
It seems like it would be easier too, that having somebody that is a musician and has toured and knows ropes
Yeah,
and things.
that guy he's extremely gifted. Like, a lot of people do not know how talented that guy is, you know. A lot of people refer to him as the bass player from Creed, but actually he filled in, like, on tour for them, like, for a couple tours. But he was the guitar player and lead singer from Virgos Merlot, and I mean, I encourage anyone to check out their stuff, because you'll really get a taste of how talented that guy is. So yeah, it ended up becoming a thing where it wasn't just unnerving to me. Like, even the guitar players were intimidated. I was like, man, he's so much better than us.
Did he give you good advice though, at least once you got in there? And
Yeah.
it was easier? Or?
And I mean, he's still someone I consider one of my best friends. I mean, like, about a lot of things to him when we first started out. You know, I'd call him and ask him questions like, "What do you do to take care of your voice, man?" And I mean, he's, you know, we stay in contact, and we've actually done some demos for our next record with him already. So.
It's not nice that you had, you know, your next record. So you guys working on that then?
When we originally went to record the demos, that's when the label asked us to record Lollipop. So all of that happened, and they kind of put a halt on things. But we've been doing a lot of writing here on the bus, and just, you know, recording things on our MacBooks, and we're gonna end up probably throwing those back and forth. And then hopefully by the end of this year we'll be in the studio recording the next record.
The name of the band too has a significance. It's not just like you pick names out of a hat. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, Ashley Hanley was our drummer Chris's fiance, and I mean, obviously she's someone really special to our band. She was my best friend, and she passed away in a car accident in October 2006. And, you know, we just felt it was, you know, the least thing we could do. Someone that was there since the beginning. It was a tireless, you know, supporter of our band. And she was definitely there for the very beginning, you know, and she did a lot of photography for the band, so that's where the framing aspect came from, and then of course Hanley being her last name, so we just felt that was like the least we could do, and it just felt fitting.
I saw that. I thought that was pretty good, because a lot of times bands, their names are just something that they kind of threw together.
Yeah, we had a couple of those names previously, so.
What was the band's name before?
Ember's Fade, and it was because Chris had an Amber's Fade colored kit, and I thought he said Ember's Fade. And I remember we were thinking about a band name, and we ended up just keeping it. And we came up with some BS reason as to what the name really meant, but it didn't mean anything.
I read too that your dad is actually a country musician, and you grew up around country. What did your dad do? Like?
No, he never like did anything big. Actually, he ended up. The story he told me was that he ended up, you know, there was an offer there, and he turned her down for my mother, and then that ended up going down the drain. So it was one of those things where I grew up. You know, my dad was an extremely gifted, like, country musician, country songwriter, and I just grew up around that, and you know, around, you know, his band and nothing but country music until my uncle left his Appetite for Destruction. He left that over at my house when I was a little kid, and I remember hearing that in Guns N' Roses. That's why to this day, that's like the band that I consider what really introduced me to rock. But yeah, I mean, really, country music was what I know that's what a lot of my family wanted me to do, and it was for a while what I was really, when I was in college, I was focusing more on country music just because I've been doing rock for so many years and could never find that right band. But then, like I said, just one day I ended up answering a bulletin on the board at our campus, and ended up joining this, what later would become this band. So no country, thank God.
Last night you guys did the opening night of Orange County Choppers ceremony thing. What was that like?
It was really cool to, I mean, cause we just found out we were playing like 2 days ago, so then we didn't really know the details of the event or anything, and then when we showed up, and it was just cool to, you know, to see these people that you watch on TV all the time, you know, and you watch, and then he ends up being just like he is on there. We got to tour the facilities and see all the bikes and everything, so it was really fun. And
you guys get to ride any of the bikes?
No. Definitely, Ryan actually was talking about riding this morning. The guy said that he would let him do it, and I was like, man, you can't afford that bike. If anything happens to it, you probably should not ride it.
You said you're going to be touring for a while now.
Yeah, we're doing a few more dates with Hollywood Undead right now. I think I think that wraps up this week. And then we're going to go out with Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, and then I know in June and July right now we're working on like a co-headlining tour with the band Red, who's also from my hometown, Nashville, so that should be fun. But and then there's talks of stuff throughout August and September, and like I said, probably the earliest we'd be done touring I foresee would be no earlier than October.
Well, best of luck with you on that.
Thank you very much.
The new album's called The Moment. Check it out. Remember, support your artists, buy your albums.